the Seattle Seahawks, 30-18 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks still in first in the NFC West by themselves with the win. Cardinals falling to 6-7, now tied for last in the West with the 49ers.
Having been first a couple of weeks ago.
Correct.
Yeah. This division's crazy at this stage.
And as I said yesterday, a good day for the NFC West. Seattle with a big win. Rams with a big win.
Just happy for NFC West fans.
Niners dominant. Only the Cardinals lost.
Yeah.
Happy for NFC West fans.
It was so strange because it started off like amazing pass from Kyler Murray to Michael Wilson, great touchdown. Like immediately, it's like, oh, Kyler's shown up today. When that happens, the Cardinals are feisty. They're difficult to beat. They're amazing. And then we just got weird mistakes from Kyler Murray. Like the first interception was like, there's a linebacker there. Why are you throwing that?
Really bad interception.
It was like the Kirk Cousins one where he threw the ball to Josh Metella. Same idea.
Yes.
It's like that guy's always there, right? It's one of those ones where it's not even like, sometimes you get fooled where that linebacker looks like he's tracking something else and you're expecting him to keep moving in that plane and he actually reverses course and jumps. He didn't do that. He's always there and he just threw the ball right to him. You're like, what? Okay, that's a kind of goof. And the second one wasn't a ton better either. It's like you're throwing. That's one where he came off. The pocket's collapsing around on him. He sort of shuffles forward. He's got a guy one-on-one deep down the field, and he throws it up. The angle is better for the safety than it is for his wide receiver. And as soon as it happens, Murray's sort of looking at his receiver like, dude, you screwed me on that. He was clearly expecting him to do something else. I just can't work out what, because it was always a better ball to the safety than it was to his own wide receiver.
Yeah, that was a couple curious decisions in there from Kyler. And, you mentioned it last night. I hate repeating over and over again, but I think the Cardinals kind of need Kyler to be special. And their offense, they've run the ball well, but it's their offense when it's Kyler running the show, making his special throws. He had the one early, and that was pretty much it. Seahawks defense continues to play pretty well overall. And then Zach Charbonnet with a huge game for Seattle. Career high in rushes, yards, touchdowns. He either tied or set a career high in pretty much every stat on the ground. What was the official stat line? 22 carries for 134, 2 touchdowns, had a nice 51-yarder. Seattle blocked it up pretty well up front. And, Charbonnet carried the workload, had a little jet sweep touchdown in there as well. Also caught 7 passes for 59 yards. Big game for Charbonnet as he, Ken Walker's been in and out of the lineup all year. And Charbonnet has played pretty well, but not this dominant the way he played in this one.
Yeah, Charbonnet was great. James Conner was really good for Arizona as well. It's just that Kyler Murray was making more mistakes. Every time the Seahawks got set up by one of the mistakes, they took advantage of it, with points. Like the first one, they get the first turnover, and immediately it's like a JSN pitch and catch touchdown, corner route in the end zone. So Geno played really well, didn't make any glaring mistakes. Kyler Murray made a couple of glaring mistakes and just dug them a hole.
Jaxon Smith-Njigba, the leading receiver again for the Seahawks. Nice little corner route for a touchdown. Nice pass from Geno. I mean, Geno is very efficient too. 24 of 30 for 233, a touchdown. The other one that was huge for JSN and Geno Smith, all-out blitz by Arizona. The one where JSN was open over the middle, but he picked it up right off the turf.
Really good catch.
I mean, and it was a good read by Geno Smith. He was just under. Remember, we were talking about Arizona. They do a good job of heating you up.
Yeah,
and
they did again. Even in this game, they had 17 pressures as a defense without anybody particularly dominating. Because they just don't have the horses. I mean, Baron Browning was probably the best pass rusher they had. Had some pressure, but they had a ton elsewhere. They're getting guys on the blitz. They do a really good job of scheming defense, even if they're not amazing from a personnel man-to-man standpoint.
Yeah, they have been. So pretty impressive. Seattle takes care of business. I do think they're a better team than Arizona. Arizona, just every time I, discount them, they overachieve. And every time I start believing them, well, they fall off. I will say the trend of Mike McDonald's defenses, maybe getting the pieces in place and figuring things out in the second half, we're starting to see some of that as well.
Yeah.
From Seattle. So I think they're trending in the right direction. And looking pretty good, sitting atop the NFC West.
Definitely. They look good. I mean, this was – you go all the way back to the start of the season. You said, look, if you look at this Seahawks team on paper, the roster is really good. It does not have many flaws. The flaws at hand were on the offensive line. If that holds up, the rest of this team is really good everywhere.
I want to highlight that too. I mean, again, I don't love Arizona's one-on-one pure pass rush, but Olu Oluwatimi starting at guard. The right guard position's been a massive issue for Seattle. He played pretty well, a couple monster blocks in there. Olu Oluwatimi taking over at center. They have Abe Lucas back out there.
Yep.
This might be the best iteration of the Seattle offensive line that's had some issues on the right side in particular, and a guard.
Well, certainly that interior is it's still a potential weakness on paper. But in a game like this where you are potentially better than your opponents from a one-on-one standpoint, a personnel standpoint, like if Oluwatimi has a good game, the Seahawks are in a pretty good spot, right?
Yeah.
If Oluwatimi gets his ass kicked by a really good interior player, now you might have some problems.
Anything else on this one?
No.
Before we get to the Sunday night entertaining game. First, PFF has you covered all season long with the best data, tools, and analysis in the game. Sign up for PFF Plus today to unlock all their famous player grades and premium stats. Push to the playoffs in your fantasy league with in-season tools and award-winning rankings from fantasy expert Nathan Yonke. And stay connected to the next generation of talent with the best NFL draft coverage on the planet. No matter what you're looking for, PFF Plus has what you need to make winning decisions. Visit PFF.com and sign up today for less than $10 per month. PFF Plus, powering winning decisions. So go check that out right now. And again, Sam and I helped build the whole thing about 15 years ago, 13 years ago for me. So we know the power of PFF, still use it in all of our analysis, and you should too. Go check out PFF Plus over at PFF.com.
Before we get into Sunday Night Football, can I give you a stat that I forgot to drop earlier?
Yes, of course.
It was an Adam Schefter tweet, which has been subsequently modified by me on the fly because it's changed slightly. But the Giants got an interception in this game against the Saints this week, which is notable because it was the first interception that the Giants defense had since week 1 as a defense, right? So this was their second interception of the season, their first since week 1, which means that against the Vikings. Since then, that's an 11-game stretch without an interception, right? Which is the longest drought by any team since 1933. What? Do you know the significance of the year 1933?
The Depression?
No. Well, no.
That was the first, in 1933 was the first Major League All-Star game.
Okay.
What else in 1933?
1933.
That was when Tungsten Arm, I think, was still going.
1933 is significant because it goes all the way back to the year they first started tracking statistics.
Oh, wow.
So this effectively was the longest streak that's ever happened.
So it could have been 1925 the last time we actually saw
Basically, it's the longest we can verify that this has ever happened.
Wow.
In the NFL.
That's wild.
Yeah. Like whatever about, that's the longest since 1985 or whatever. This is literally the longest verified defensive interceptionless streak the NFL has ever experienced.
I didn't realize that was that bad.
Yeah. That's why it was so funny when Leonard Williams was getting pick sixes out there.
Yeah, no, I get that. The Giants jokes this year have been pretty hilarious.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.